Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Now, this lesson is going to be entitled, Just Pearly Things is an Edomite. That's why. ... Okay, so you Israelites, okay, and when I say you Israelites, I'm speaking about you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, the ones of you that descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, you would be considered Israelites. Okay, now we do have other Israelites scattered around the world as well, but you Israelites need to understand. Okay, like this individual on the screen here, he's an Israelite. And he needs to understand, as well as the rest of you Israelites, that these are the biblical Edomites. Okay, so-called people, the so-called white people that you refer to as white, Caucasian, that doesn't exist. That was a construct that was made up, you know, going back to 1681. That's something that that's a label they put upon themselves as a white, and they put a label on you as black. You know, the guy on the screen is clearly a light brown individual. You know, there's nothing black about him. His hat is black. Even the darkest of people are really just a dark shade of brown. Okay, so these are things that we've been telling you. The Hebrew Israelites have been telling you, you know, and breaking down to you over and over and over again. But you Jakes refuse to understand, and this is why these things happen. And you get all surprised. Oh, how could she do this? How could she do that? The bottom line is she's an Edomite. And the Edomites were created to be opposed to you Israelites. See, this didn't surprise me because I already knew that she was an Edomite. Basically, she was an Edomite making profit off of Jake's flavor. That's all she was doing. Okay, and that's how she got big, you know. You see, that's how everything gets big, is through the backs of you Israelites, because you have the flavor, you have the innovation, you have the talent. You are the valuable players on the earth, although you do not benefit from your own talent. So, matter of fact, since I said that, let me get Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, in the 16th verse. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them. Who's the portion of Jacob? You 12 tribes of Israel. For who is he not like? He is not like the other nations. For he is the former of all things, meaning he is the creator of all things. He is the innovator of the earth. When you look at all these inventions, the inventions that make this world go around are created by Israelites. Even when you deal with the light bulb, that was created by Lattimore, which was the slave of Edison. Okay, but Edison got the credit for it. That devil got the credit for it, right? But the thing that the person who understood it and made it work was his so-called slave, which was an Israelite. Okay, the traffic light, the system that makes the trains continue, where you get the word, the term, the real McCoy from. You know, because at one point the trains couldn't even, couldn't even go from point A to point B without constantly having to be stopped, you know. And then you go into the rotary engine. There's a whole long list, and I'll be here all day to name all the things that Jake has created. Fiber optics, the cell phone, okay, which Jake doesn't get credit for. And when these people think of these things, they think of Edomites. That's part of the witchcraft of this devil and his media. Okay, it says, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name, right? Because we are the sons and daughters of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, Yahweh is our Father. His name is upon us. Okay, we are his. We belong to him. Okay, these other nations don't belong to him. Okay, so how do you think the king of the universe is going to create his people? He's going to create his people above the other nations. Now let's get, and there's, by the way, there's nothing wrong with racism. Okay, you guys are getting all bent out of shape because this chick is a so-called racist, or she interviewed a racist, or whatever the case is. That's not a problem. First of all, the word to be racist, well, racist rather, because you Jakes can't practice racism right now because you don't control anything. Okay, the Edomites are the ones that control the system. Okay, so ism, when you put ism behind something like Marxism or what do you say, capitalism, that's like a system, all right, which you Jakes do not control. So you can't really you can't implement racism, but you can be a racist, which means that what? Ist in the back of something means you're for something, meaning you're for your people. You're supposed to be for your people, and these Edomites are supposed to be for their people, and these other nations are supposed to be for their people. Okay, that's just how it's going to be. But who is the superior in reality? Let's just read it. This is Deuteronomy 7:6. It says, "For thou art an holy people," which holy means separate, "unto Yahweh thy power. The Lord has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." So the bottom line is that the Israelites are the superior above all these other nations. Okay, and this is why we have the talents we have. This is why we have the flavor we have. This is why we allow these people. This is why these people are able to serve themselves of us and profit. Okay, which is all part of the curses as well. Okay, the Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. This is why the Lord delivered us from Egypt, and why he's going to deliver us from this Egypt a second time. Okay, as it says in Isaiah 11:11. Okay, matter of fact, let me just get that real quick since I mentioned it. Okay, it's Isaiah 11:11, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand a second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign from the nations," because we're scattered all throughout all these different nations. Okay, you got Israelites calling themselves all different things under the sun. Okay, the sign is a guideline to where the concentration of particular tribes are. It's a guideline. We still have other Israelites that are scattered amongst the earth that look like all different types of nations, by the way. So everyone that looks like an Edomite or a Moabite is not necessarily of that nation. It's based upon the spirit. But based upon the spirit of this individual, just pearly things, she's an Edomite. Okay, she doesn't have the flavor. She's clearly an Edomite, and I saw that from the beginning. And now, further proves it is the talking points, because Esau has a particular talking points concerning the oppression that has happened to you Jakes, because they're trying to deflect from what has been done so that they do not get the blame. That's a typical Edomite characteristic. It says, "And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth." Okay, so the Lord is going to gather us, and then he's going to bring us into the land. Now, hold on. I mentioned something. I just wanted to get this first before I started to play that video. Right, beautiful. This is Jeremiah 30. And I'm going to get rid of Jeremiah. Okay, let's get Jeremiah 30. This is Jeremiah 30. in verse, I'll start at verse 7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Now we're coming into the time of Jacob's trouble right now, where it's about to be very, very hectic on the earth. Famine, more pestilence, more lockdowns, more severe lockdowns, draconian measures, people being thrown in concentration camps. Okay, you see what I'm saying? 15-minute cities, all kind of things is getting ready to pop off. Neighbors invading one another. We go into these things often. That's the time of Jacob's trouble. It's about to get its darkest before the dawn, as the elder apostle Kabar always says. It's darkest before the dawn. So it's about to get real dark out here. And the only ones that's going to make it out are those that have Yahweh Shem Yahushai on their side. And this is why we speak to you Israelites, to get out of the mindset and philosophies that you're in right now, to turn to your power, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is the only way to be saved out of this thing. Okay? And these Edomites are through. These Edomites, these other nations, they have no power. Okay? Their power was given to them of their Heavenly Father, but their Heavenly Father is against them. This is all part of the movie, which who's going to win at the end? Yahushai and the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay? So anyways, continuing on, it says, "For it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck and will burst thy bands." And the yoke is not broken off our neck. Okay. Now we don't have the physical yoke of iron, which this also proves that we're the Israelites, because when you go into Google, you type in yoke of iron, this actually happened to Israel. Type in yoke of iron on neck. Oh, I could have put it on neck, but no. Look at what pops up. You got Israelites. This is a Jake. This is an Israelite. These are Israelites, and they actually did this. They actually put these iron yokes on their neck so that we couldn't run away, man. And these things were heavy as hell, man. Show you how strong our people are, man. You see? But guess what? The Lord is going to repay them for every single thing that they did. Okay, and this is light. This is nothing. This is light. Okay, trust me, man. Trust me. These devils have done the horrendous things that they've done on this planet. Matter of fact, let's type in without sanctuary. And trust me, the devil. This is why Esau doesn't want critical race theory, because critical race theory would go deep and dive into the sickness of these devils, man, and how sick and evil they are. Okay, and the things that they've done on the earth, But anyways, let's continue. It says, "For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his bond, his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him." Now, like I said, we don't have this bond on our neck right now anymore, the physical bond, right? That I showed you before, but now it's a actual we're contractual slaves, okay, and it's a spiritual bond ultimately, because Esau has enslaved the world through what? Through contracts. When you look up the word emancipation, that doesn't mean to free somebody. That means to transfer ownership. What they were doing was they transferred it from personal ownership to corporations, or ultimately government ownership. Okay, the elites. So we've never been freed from these devils. We've just been transferred. It's a different form of slavery. Okay, which these Edomites even see that they're in slavery now, and this is why they're rebelling. The middle class and the upper middle class, whatever the case may be. These Edomites are about to tighten the grip on this slavery that they're in. But it says that, "and strangers," meaning the other nations, "shall no more serve themselves of him." Of who? Of us. Meaning what? To benefit from our labor and from our spirit. That's what these other nations do. Okay, Moab, they opened restaurants where, and a lot of times they got all kind of restaurants in the Jake neighborhoods, man. Ishmael, right? They got the dépanneurs, what we call that corner stores over here, dépanneurs. Okay, got all kind of things, all kind of stores and things like that, profiting of you, Jake, man. The clothing brands, the liquor. When Jake promotes something, it pops. All they got to do is give it to a rapper to promote it, and it's gonna pop off. That's why it's gonna pop to the highest degree, and that's why the Adidas need Kanye back, man. All right. You see what I'm saying to you? But we're not the ones benefiting from it, because that goes back to what? The curses. But they shall serve Yahweh their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Right? And you know I got to touch Deuteronomy the 20th chapter, but first I'm gonna play that video, and then if the Spirit guides me back over there, we're gonna go back to Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. Okay, let's go.
To a Sarar Garvey, to a King Riches.
Matter of fact, let's bring this back a bit. I don't want to play it from the beginning, but I want to play it maybe from here.
Talking about black relationship issues. You could have had black people sitting in the same room with this person in order to combat some of the hellacious things that were coming out of his mouth, or to have a different perspective that would have lent itself well to demonstrate the respect for the people that watch your content and that you employ. I don't think that your platform would be as big as what it is today if it wasn't for the essential utilization of black people, black relationship topics, and black talent. And the talent came from all over. When you include the likes of an Andrew Tate, all the way down to a Brittany Renner. And even from a content creator perspective, from me to a Melanie King, to a Sarar Garvey, to a King Riches, to an Auntie Jenny. So for those just unaware of what's been going on, Pearl has recently come under fire for the...
My name is Jonah Krochmalik, and
Give me a second.
Is what an automated microgreens farm looks like.
These particular comments.
I'm trying to get my Africans in America. My Africans. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
They're gonna get trouble. This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish. And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible. It was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
Now, what's crazy is that I came across these comments while I was live streaming.
Now let's pause there. So she's saying that Roots founder said he wanted a myth those people could believe in. What myth are you talking about exactly? Because Roots was a major watered down version of what was going on in slavery with us Israelites and you devils, you Edomites, man. Did he show the fact that you were raping children? I can't even say that. Did he show the fact that you were raping children? I'm talking about under 9 years old, 7 years old, 6 years. Did he show that? Did he show that how you would lynch a Jake and then cut off his body parts, his members, and then eat it? A pickle is his rod, his member, and keep it as a souvenir. Did he show that? Did he show about alligator bait? How you used Jake children as alligator bait? Was that shown in Roots? I think not, man. I think not, man. So, hey, these devils got some nerve, man. And they're trying to make you think it wasn't even that bad. That watered out, they're saying it wasn't even that bad. And I could be here all day, man, going into the atrocities and the wickedness and the evil of you devils, man, and what you've done on the earth, and what specifically to the nation of Israel. Let me get some scriptures, man, because, hey, like I said, that's an Edomite. That's an Edomite for you, man. And I already knew she was an Edomite in the spirit. But, hey, you Jakes are in La La Land. This is why he's so surprised. Oh, I didn't know she said all this. Well, you shouldn't be surprised. This is an Edomite, bro. Okay? This is Psalms 73 and verse, matter of fact, man, you know what, man? You know what? I'm going to read down. I'm going to read from verse 2, okay? Because this is good. This is all good, okay? This is a psalm of Asaph. It says, "But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. And we see the wicked prospering, which are you Edomites. You are known as the race of the wicked. Okay, you're prospering. There's wicked people amongst every nation, but you are the wicked, pursuing the Malachi, the 1st chapter. Now you're prospering in the earth. Even after all the wickedness that you've done, you're prospering in the earth. And this is what puts that pride in you. It increases the pride in you. Okay, it says, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, right? And we've seen that with the island, right? The Epstein Island, okay? You know, and you see how they did Cosby and Kelly, R. Kelly, and all these different PDF files, all right? You know what I mean by PDF files in upper echelon Edomites, what's that guy's name? Savile, Jimmy Savile, and all these well-known PDF files. There's no major coverage on that. There's no documentary on that. But they'll dig up Michael Jackson to do a documentary on him. Right? And it's funny how those cases came about when he's about to do some major investments and buy Marvel and bring Marvel back to life, which after they put him to death, after they killed his ass, right? What did they do? They actually brought Marvel back, because guess what? Everything is off the backs of you Israelites, man. And your enemy is always looking to take you out and to use you, drain you of everything that you got, and put you out, man. Put you to the side. You Jakes better wake up, man. Okay, it says they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Why? This really goes back to Cain. Because Cain, which these Edomites, Cain came back as Esau, right? That was a reincarnation of the line of the wicked. Okay, see this. I don't want to go too deep, but guess what? Cain hasn't been punished yet. Okay, the descendants of Cain, the wicked, they haven't fully received their punishment yet. Okay. Oh gosh. Give me a second. Actually, maybe it's all one word. It's all one word. Con. Now, let's read this. And I don't want to lose the people that are new to this. Okay, but I'm going to go into Cain, and you're going to see the similarities between these Edomites and Cain, based upon what I'm saying, right? This is Genesis 4:9. It says, and the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground, meaning his spirit was crying, complaining unto the Lord, when he died and went up to the spirit world, right? Because everyone dies and goes up to the Heavenly Father. So even all those Israelites that got lynched and destroyed and wrongfully put to death and tortured by these devils, as you see in these images, right? These Jakes being hung. This Jake, he's dismembered. Okay, you see he's dismembered. His leg is cut off. Everything's cut, and he's burnt. Okay, and these Jakes were begging for mercy, and a lot of times these Edomites, these Edomites knew that they were innocent. Okay, that's why they had the term of picker, N-I-G-G. You know what? Okay, that's where you get the word picnic from. That's where you get the term picnic from. Okay, where these devils would just pick a random Jake and put him to death. They would just pick a random Jake and put him to death. Okay, now you see these images. They're smiling in the images. These devils are sick and sadistic, man. You have to understand this, man. And they don't give a damn about you, Jakes. They love the bloodshed. See, back then they weren't being shamed for doing this. This is why they did it with no problem. But now that the history is coming back on this, they don't want to speak about this. No, yeah, don't bring that up. That's are you a leftist? Are you a leftist? And they try to tie you to being a weirdo. But no, this is the facts. This is what you Edomites have done, and you're gonna have to pay for it, because all these Jakes, their blood. This is a little boy. Look at this is a little boy here. All these Jakes, their blood is crying out from the ground, man. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? They went up to the Heavenly Father and they started to complain. The Heavenly Father said, okay, no problem. I got something for them. Just wait. Okay, it says, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand, because the scriptures say that that the blood is defiled, the earth is polluted and defiled by blood. When you read Numbers, the 35th chapter and the 33rd verse, it says, when thou tillest the ground, matter of fact, man, let's just bring that back. Let's see, I don't want to keep jumping around, but you know, if I'm gonna say it, I might as well bring it out, man. Not every time, but the Spirit is on me. It says Numbers 35 and 33. It says, it says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Meaning what? That justice has to be brought forth. Meaning someone put somebody to death, murders somebody, they have to be put to death. But these Edomites have not paid for their crimes against humanity. Okay? Right? But guess what? They are going to pay. Okay? Say, oh, well, they're not here no more. Oh, no, they're here. Because guess what? There's something called reincarnation. All these Edomites are reincarnated back now. Okay? The children of those Edomites. Okay? So you're gonna be judged, man. Okay? It says when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength, right? Which is, you see that now, that the earth lacks nutrients. You know, when you see a grape cluster, it's not supposed to be that size. You go back to the ancient world, grape cluster was a lot bigger. But since the Edomites have been in power, everything has lost nutrients, everything has been defiled, you know, everything has been weakened. Okay, because that's part of the curse of Cain. Like I said, Cain has been reincarnated as Esau and his nation. Because after the flood, all the Cainites were destroyed. Okay, so what happened? They were reincarnated. As I said, everyone is reincarnated. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be. What is shalt thou be in the earth? What's a fugitive? Someone who has not gotten justice yet, and that's what these Edomites are. And this is why they constantly want to come up against anyone that's speaking against their crimes. Because what does a criminal want to do when it comes to a trial? They want to get rid of the witness. Okay, they want to stop the talking points of the witness. All right. It says, and Cain said unto Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond, right? Someone who's constantly traveling the earth. That's what a vagabond is. Which, how did he get this land? How did he get Canada? How did he get America? From being a fugitive. How did he get being a vagabond, rather? How did he get Australia? Scriptures say, who shall trust a thief that skippeth from city to city? That's the Edomite, man. And a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And Yahweh said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And that mark through the spirit is leprosy, man. Okay, the way these Edomites look, that's leprosy. That's why they can't go out in the sun like that, because the Lord has put a curse upon them. That's part of the mark of Cain. Okay, it was a physical mark. It was something that can be seen. Now, let's go down to 25, and this is his son. This is what his son... No, is it 25 or 20? Excuse me. No, Salakia. Let me go back. Let's go back. I saw that scripture. Right, Genesis 4:24. Okay, that was 24. Right, that's what I thought. Okay, so 24. It says, these are the descendants of Cain, which are the wicked. Right, had Tubal, Cain, and then you had Lamech. It said, and Lamech said unto his wives. Right. Verse 23, and Lamech said unto his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech. For I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. See, so his descendants became murderers because he was a murderer. This is the spirit of the Edomite. Okay, it says, if Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, right? Meaning if someone touches Cain, they'll be paid back 7 times. Truly Lamech 70 and 70-fold, meaning I'll be avenged way more because guess what? I'll be even more wicked. Okay? But why did the Lord say that? Why did the Lord say that no one could he didn't want people he put a punishment for those that avenge themselves on Cain? Because it wasn't Cain's time to be judged. The Lord said vengeance is mine. The Lord is getting ready to judge Cain, these Edomites, these are nothing but Cain, the Cainites coming back. The Lord is about to judge them. This is why they're not in trouble as other men, although they're wicked, but they're getting ready to be judged, man. Now let's continue. It says, they are not, this is Psalm 73:5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covered them as a garment. This is why they're prideful. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Meaning what? Proudly. They don't have, well, get over it. That's speaking proudly concerning oppression and wickedly. That's what she's doing there, right? She said, it wasn't all that bad, well, it's not as bad as they try to depict it. Man, they don't even know the half. And even the things that's documented, right? We don't have all the documents of what was going on. Esau, any foul, the most foul thing you could think of was going on back then with these Edomites, man. Trust me. Oh, they had something called the Derby's dose. Go look up Derby's dose, man. Having another slave, Israelite slave, take a dump in another slave's mouth as punishment, man. This is the sick mind, the twisted mind of these devils. But they're gonna pay. This is what I'm showing you. They're gonna pay. Okay. Let's get This is Zechariah 11:5. It says, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 4. It says, thus saith the Lord, my power, feed the flock of the slaughter, which are you Israelites, whose possessors slay them. Like I said, we're still in the hand of you devils. Okay, you got Social Security, so on and so forth, and hold themselves not guilty. You see that? They put Jake to death. They did all these atrocities, and they hold themselves. It wasn't me. It's okay to be white. Yeah, it is okay to be an Edomite. But Edomites have a judgment. Okay? It says, and they that sell them say, blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not. You see that? So guess what? They said what? They were saying, oh, when this was happening, oh, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. Oh, yes, we got all this money. We're selling these slaves. There's no problem, right? And they hold themselves not guilty. This is why all in the courts, this will happen regularly. And if they would, and guess what? They would always get off. The judge would say, oh, well, see no fault here. Get off. Right? The Emmett Till case, right? They put Emmett Till to death, which that wasn't even that long ago. Okay? And what happened? The judge said, oh, we got to throw it out. No, there's nothing going on here. Because they hold themselves not guilty, but Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai holds them guilty. Okay? And another thing, they don't want to hear about their oppression. Their judgment. They don't want to hear about these things. This is Psalms 58:3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of us. See, these Edomites are natural born liars. You Jakes got to understand that. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Okay, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Okay, they stop their ear, meaning they don't want to hear the truth. Because the truth is a threat to them in their society. Okay? Let's play a bit more, man, and I'm pretty much going to end it off, man. You get the point, man. We could go on for days about the wickedness of Esau.
Screaming a couple of days ago. And what started out as a laughy, jokey live stream where I wanted to talk about my time up in London quickly diverted to one of the worst live streams that I've ever had in my life. And honestly, it was a trip to hell as I discovered the magnitude of the conversation that she had with this figure by the name of Nick Fuentes. Specific to the comments regarding slavery being embellished, I said this on the stream and I maintain it today that Pearl needs to be held responsible for this comment. Likening a quote from the writer of Roots explaining a myth for his people to hold on to does not negate the documented history of the atrocities that happened to black people. And I'd argue that Roots was a light depiction
Absolutely.
of the savagery that my forefathers had to go through to ensure that I would be here today. But let me explain a little bit further.
It was a super light depiction. That was a joke. What was that other one? Goodbye, Uncle Tom. Goodbye, Uncle Tom was, a little bit more detailed, if you will, man. They showed how they were, dealing with children and things of that nature. But it trust me, even that, there's no movie they have out that can depict how horrific and sick these Edomites are, okay, and were. And then let's not even deal with our brothers, the Native Americans, man, the Gadites, the Seminoles, and how they used to, chop up the pregnant woman's, chop open the pregnant woman's stomach and step on the kid and feed the children to dogs and, roast these Israelites like rotisserie chicken. But then these devils will stand up on a podcast with a proud look on their face. Like, oh, what's the big deal? This is why when we get you in captivity, man, we going to have fun, man. Because that's part of your future. Okay? It's to go into slavery under the Israelites. You best believe it, man. Matter of fact, let me read that real quick, man. And I'm pretty much close it up. I'm pretty much close it up, man. Because I got things to do, man. These devils, you get the point, man. This is Isaiah 14 and verse 2. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. Matter of fact, let's go. And the people shall bring them and shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. Were we not captives / slaves unto you devils? Well, we're going to take you captive. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. Okay? So you don't have to worry about, we don't need to hear about this no more. No, don't worry. You're going to go through it 2 times. The scriptures say they're going to drink the cup double. And this is what you Israelites should be looking for, man. Trying to forgive and forget. Forgive and forget what? Listen, man, the Most High hasn't forgave or forgot what these Edomites have done, man. Okay? The Most High is going to bring vengeance, man. Through his son, Yahweh Shai. You best believe it. Let's keep going.
How thoroughly that this actually is, because for me it comes down to a question of ethics. You're interviewing a known Nazi sympathizer and an anti-black creator and not offering any pushbacks whatsoever. And in fact, you're adding in your own fake news regarding the embellishment or the exaggeration of slavery. Additionally, there are times within the conversation where it's laughy, it's jokey, it's kikiing, especially when you got specific in certain comments that reflected on CP time. And let me also say this, is that generally CP time is something that's laughed amongst people of melanation, but it's not taken as a joke when you're doing it with a person who is a self-proclaimed racist. Now that I've had the opportunity to digest all of the information, now that I'm not on live stream with thousands of people looking at me, and in the back of my mind, thinking towards the tens of thousands that are waiting for the perfect reaction for me, I begin to question why you didn't sympathize with the plight of African Americans or black people in general. And not once in the interview did you have at least one pro-black stance. Or
because she's an Edomite. That's the end of the story. The Edomites are not set up to care about you, Jakes. They are your enemies, man. Okay? I just read some scriptures on that, man. They are your enemies. They're not looking they don't give a damn about you, man. Okay? The scriptures say they have a perpetual hatred. Okay? And matter of fact, I'm just gonna keep it at that, man. And I'm gonna read the scripture on perpetual hatred and leave it at that, man. Okay? Because I said what needed to be said. You Jakes need to wake up. We've been telling you, man. We've been telling you. Okay? Is that Amos? No, Ezekiel. Salakia. This is Ezekiel 35 and 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel. Matter of fact, yeah, let's go up to verse 3 because this is speaking to the Edomites. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 1. It says, moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, right, which is the hometown of the Edomites. This is where these Edomites originate from, the so-called white people. They originate from Mount Seir, okay, because they came out of, that's where they moved to, after they came from Isaac and Rebekah. They ended up migrating to Mount Seir, which was a land that was appointed to them from the Heavenly Father. But guess what? Now they've dispersed, being the vagabonds that they are, and now they're all over the earth. It stole all kind of other people's lands. All right. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee. Who's against you? The Heavenly Father. And I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. Okay? Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel. What does perpetual mean? Continual. Even now, these Edomites hate you. And it's funny, you Jakes don't ask yourself, what have you done to them for them to hate you? You Jakes don't even be hating Edomites like that, but they have a hatred for you as if you did what they did to you. Yeah, these Edomites, they had the serfs and things of that nature. These Edomites were under us in the Byzantine Empire and so on and so forth. But listen, we were not as sad. We did not do what you did. Let's put it that way. Servitude and slavery and captivity was always around, but what you did was unprecedented, man. Was sick. Okay? It says, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Right? So that's the point, man. Even the way they talk about what they did is like, well. See, showing you that they don't hate blood. Okay? So anyways, with that, Lord's willing, this was edifying to the elect. I just want to touch on this. The Spirit galvanized me to speak on this. So with that, I'll say shalom.